Hey, how's it going, folks? ET here in Fukuoka. Got some big news for you. Big news. Yesterday I sent an email to my company saying that I resigned, so I'm in the process of resigning. And the reason why I'm resigning is because I am eventually moving back to the United States. I'm gonna head over to San Antonio, Texas, where my nose is itching. For my parents actually retired, so I won't be going back to Hawaii. Though I wish I could. But bad thing about Hawaii is the jobs are pretty low paying, and the rent and houses are pretty expensive. Well, rent's pretty, it's expensive, but if you ever want to buy a house, we're talking lots and lots of money. And then the jobs just don't pay enough to make, just don't balance out. So anyways, let's keep going on. So I sent in an email for my resignation. Is going to start that process. And the reason why I did is because we just about finished the visa process. Yeah, waiting for last little piece to come through, and then we can actually head out. And yesterday I started throwing away some stuff, and I have no idea exactly when I'm leaving. Probably end of September, most likely. But yeah, let me tell you, if you are married, if you're an American, you're married to a Japanese lady, or you're thinking about getting married to a Japanese lady, the visa process is a pain in the pain in the okole, oshiri, anything, any language you can think of. But yeah, it's a real pain in the ass. So you got to do paperwork upon paperwork, and every time you send paperwork in, they want money. So it's like 300 here, 80 here, 100 here, and then you gotta go. You got two places you can go to. You can either go to Tokyo or Naha in Okinawa to do your interview. Then, before interview is final step, but before that, your wife has to go to get a medical checkup or exam or something, and mostly is to check vaccinations and do TB X-ray for tuberculosis check and things like that. And what else you gotta do? You gotta show taxes for at least 1 year previous. So if you're like most people, me included, who never do their taxes while they live overseas, don't forget, when you live in Japan, you still have to do your taxes. You don't have to pay America, but you gotta do a 1040 and then another form, which let me tell you real quick exactly what it is. It is a. I gotta open up my Dropbox, because I always save I save documents in this one folder, so I kind of remember. It's a F250 2500. Let me do that again. F2555EZ or F2255 form. It's foreign earned income. So basically, you do your 1040 and you do this other form, and it negates it. Since you're paying tax in Japan, you don't have to pay in two places. Under, I think it's like 90,000 US. So that's one of the benefits. You don't have to pay the U.S. taxes while you're in Japan, and it's also not necessarily a benefit if you plan on going back to America, because you're not contributing to Social Security, and you don't have jobs with 401ks and things like that. Things when you're young you don't really worry too much about, but when you get a little older and older, you're like, okay, maybe I should have some kind of retirement. So if you don't have the discipline to save and do retirement accounts and things like that, you can hang out in Japan for 10, 15, 20 years and go back with nothing. So you gotta be careful. But so heading to San Antonio, Texas, and it's gonna be interesting. I lived in Hawaii for a long time, and I spent just about a year in Seattle right before I came back to Japan. So lived in places where there's a decent influence from Japanese culture. Hawaii is like a separate prefecture. Waikiki is like we call it Waikiki Ken. It's a different prefecture because there's a lot of Japanese, a lot of international, but mostly a lot of katakana, hiragana, kanji everywhere. You have Japanese TV you can watch. Seattle is not as much as it used to be, but there's a decent sized Japanese community, supermarket and things like that. San Antonio, I think there is one Japanese supermarket, but there's, with modern internet, YouTube, all kinds of, what do you got, Nico Nico, and you know, just news and NHK and all that stuff. It's easier and easier to experience Japan when you're in another country. So the wifey won't have too much culture shock. Well, my son, he's 5 years old and he's getting ready to go to kindergarten. And right now, like I speak to him in pretty much 98% English, and his Japanese is here, his English is here. Even though I speak to him all day in English, but he's at a Japanese hoikoen, which is what daycare, I guess you translate it, preschool, daycare, whatever you want to call it. But so his Japanese level is just boom boom. Like recently, you can just tell it's getting higher and higher. And the other day, about a week or so ago, it was the first time I asked him something in Japanese, and he's like, "Eigo wakaran." So I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna have a culture shock. But I'm a little worried about him. Like, I have no stress, you know, about moving or whatever, but him, first day of kindergarten in America, it's gonna be interesting, you know, him walking in the whole lesson being in English. But I mean, I do speak exclusively with him in English, so I hope he at least understands. Maybe he won't be able to say, but and he watches on Netflix. He watches, you know, Go Diego Go and Power Rangers and all, you know, all the Sonic and all kinds of stuff like that in English. So and Caillou and things like that. So I hope it kind of helps. That's Caillou, if you didn't know. But yeah, so I'm quitting. I'm leaving Japan. I will miss Japan, but I know since I've lived in Japan almost. Well, I moved here originally in '99, so gonna minus about 3 years. I took a little break back to the U.S. Yeah, about 10 years or so, give or take. Been here for a long time. Gonna miss Japan a lot. Reverse culture shock guaranteed to happen. But yeah, it'll be good to be back in the U.S. But I always know, you know, my son and the wife have in-laws, so we'll always come to visit, at least Fukuoka. And if things go right, you know, maybe be able to spend a month or so in Japan every year, if possible. Depends on employment or things like that. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. What do you guys think? You gonna be leaving soon? You getting ready to come here? There's an open position for you. If you want to be an ALT in Fukuoka City, there's jobs. So let me know in the comments. You know, any advice? Anybody in Texas? That's gonna be interesting. Yeah. Okay, guys. Peace.